Welcome. In this next set of tutorials, we're going to explore creating custom patterns, or more precisely, creating seamless custom patterns. And the seamless part's really important, the idea that the pattern will repeat without any visual defects. And there's some certain tricks to doing that. And if you recall, patterns are a form of texture, and texture is one of the elements of art. And elements of art are important. You use the elements in your designs or your artwork to create visual interest. So we're going to explore creating custom patterns. If you don't have Illustrator open, go ahead and do so now. Then we're going to create a new document. We're going to come up to Web. And it doesn't matter which one of these you choose. We just want a web document that is 400 pixels by 400 pixels to make our math and life easier. And we can call this test patterns for our document. Test patterns, and hit create. Now I'm going to close any panels I have open. I'm going to hit Command 0 to center my artboard in the screen. First thing I want to do is get rid of all of these color swatches. We don't need them. It's going to keep the first four, rest are going to go away. So I'm going to go up to Options, select All Unused, and hit the trash can, and click Yes. Now that does not delete those swatches for all of eternity or all of Illustrator, just within this document. And when you do that, it does keep none, registration, white, and black. Those always stay. For your future assignment coming up, you're going to pen tool something, make an illustration, and fill it in with patterns, which you're going to create here. And those patterns are going to be black and white. So we're going to use black and white, or you could use shades of gray, right? That's also fine. So I'm going to show you a couple techniques. We need to do a couple of things here in setup. We need to go up to View and make sure Snap to Pixel is on with the check mark, and Smart Guides with the check mark. That's going to make our patterns pixel perfect. And then we need two layers. So I'm going to hit New Layer here. I'm going to call Layer 2 Mask and Layer 1 Patterns. And you just got to be careful, right? You might be new to Illustrator, not super familiar. You just got to make sure you know which one is highlighted for which one you're working on. And we're working on patterns first. So let's look at a couple concepts here. I'm going to go over here to on the left side under my toolbars. And the bottom here I'm going to swap. So my fill is black and my stroke is white. You can hit D for default to get them to white and black, and then swap just in case. And then I want my stroke to be none for now. I want a black fill. I'm going to take my rectangle tool. I'm going to look for the center right there, the center of my artboard, and I'm going to hold Shift and Option as I drag out let's try a 90 pixel rectangle. 90 pixel rectangle. Then I'm going to take my selection tool and I'm going to option drag, and then click Shift on the keyboard while still holding Option, and I am dragging a copy up till it intersects with the very top. Now here's the key with seamless patterns. It doesn't matter what happens in the middle of your artboard. That has no difference whatsoever on making it seamless. All that matters is that the left edge and the right edge line up, and the top edge and the bottom edge line up, so that when they repeat upon themselves, there are no gaps. So let's look at what we can do. Just what kind of patterns can we make? I'm going to show you a trick here with the rotate tool. So over here on the left, rotate tool, or R for rotate. And once I select that, you see this registration point like a bullseye. If I were to try to rotate right now, it would rotate around the center of that square. But there's a little trick. I want to rotate around the center of this square. So I'm going to hold Option, and I'm going to look for center, and I'm going to click. And by holding Option when I click, it's going to move the registration point there and pop up this dialog box. I'm going to turn preview on just to see what the change does when I make it. I'm going to do a 45-degree rotation and hit Tab on the keyboard, and that allows me to see what happens. Then I'm going to click Copy. Okay, and it makes a copy of it. Now I'm not going to touch anything else on my keyboard because I want to duplicate the last step I did, which is rotate 45 degrees around the center. So I'm going to hit Command D for duplicate. And you can see it's duplicating around until we get ourselves a pattern like that. All right. Again, it doesn't matter what's going on here in the middle, only that the left matches with the right, top matches with the bottom. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rectangle tool and I'm going to click on Mask Layer, not Patterns Layer, Mask Layer. And you know what? Actually, we don't even need to mask this one. Mask is only when things go off the edge, and we'll look at that one in the next tutorial. So all we need to do here is take the selection tool and then hit Command A to select all. And you can see all of our little squares are selected. I'm going to come up to Object, Pattern, and Make. We're going to call this Test Pattern, or let's see, Zentangle Pattern 01. And I can highlight and Command C to copy that. So when we make future patterns, I can just paste it and change to 02. We're not changing any other settings, and we're going to save. Don't need to save a copy. Sorry, hit Done. All right, hit Done. Now what you'll notice is that there is a pattern here in the upper right in our swatches, Zentangle Pattern 01. I'm going to double click on it to show you that you can now come in and edit if you wanted to. And I can hit Command minus a couple times just so you can see that that pattern repeats. And if I didn't like it, like I said, I could double click and edit, and I could take this guy and you could do black, white, or shades of gray. So I can make that gray and it will update, right? You can see it updated that pattern, and I just hit Done. And then now the pattern's updated here. As a proof of concept, let me just drag out whatever, this polygon tool here, maybe bigger so we can see it. Let's make it bigger. There we go. And you can see if I stretch this out, it's going to have a nice repeating pattern. All right. I want to delete that because I don't need it. Just kind of a proof of concept. All right. Next tutorial, let's see what other kind of cool patterns we can make.